All right. Good morning and welcome to the first webinar in our series of webinars to promote the upcoming 2026 Hong Kong Food Expo Pro Show taking place in Hong Kong, August the 13th through the 15th. Today we are joined with two very knowledgeable speakers, not only about Hong Kong, but also about the food industry and support for food companies that will help you exhibit at this show. So, before we get started, I just want to tell you a little bit about Global LA, who we are, what we do. We are all about connecting Los Angeles to the world and the world to Los Angeles. If you're joining and you're not in LA, that's okay because we're not limited to just working with companies in Los Angeles. And this is an opportunity that is not just limited to LA companies. We've opened it up to any US company that is a food company and want to sell to the Asia market. So we're delighted to have you to talk about this. Global LA is an organization that is based in Los Angeles. We're dedicated to supporting international business connections and also fostering inclusive economic growth. And our mission is to attract foreign direct investment, expand companies into global markets, and also to develop a highly competitive workforce. We've recently expanded our mission, and that's why we are now supporting US companies with exporting beyond just attracting foreign direct investment. We believe those things go hand in hand. So we're delighted to have this opportunity to work with two dynamic partners, the Hong Kong Trade Development Council, based here in Los Angeles, and also the Western U.S. Agricultural Trade Association, that's based in Washington State. And joining us is Cedric Wan, who is the marketing manager here in Los Angeles. And then we also have Hayden. Hayden, I'm so sorry. I misspelled your name. Somehow the D got dropped, but it's Hayden Romick, who is based in also on the West Coast with WUSATA. They're both going to share a lot of valuable information today about doing business in Asia and also the support that's available. So I am only here to make the introduction. And now what I'm going to do is pass it over to Cedric Wan, who's going to give us a detailed presentation on the Asian markets and also talk to us about the Hong Kong Food Expo Pro as well. So with that, I'm going to stop sharing and Hayden, passing the baton over to you.
Wonderful.
Sorry, not Hayden, Cedric,
Nope.
passing
Perfect.
the baton to you. Sorry about that.
No worries. Yeah, I'm sure Hayden's part is equally important for the
Yes, it
funding.
is.
Yeah. But I'll talk about Asia and Hong Kong first. So, very nice meeting everyone here, and thank you for joining us today. Thank you, Terry, and thank you, Hayden, for the support. And I'm Cedric, and then I'm based in LA with the Hong Kong Trade Development Council. I'll save the Trade Development Council introduction later on, but to tell you guys what's important today first is the Asia market and also how like what are the potentials and how you can enter it into Asia. So everyone knows Asia is a big market, and some facts is that actually in the global F&B market size, Asia takes up 40% of them, and then we're expecting a very strong growth to 5.29 trillion US dollars by 2031, and in which everyone knows like China, Japan, Korea, these are all the developed markets, and a lot of US companies have been exporting to. But I think for Asia, we also have to look into the Southeast Asian region right now, which is having a very strong growth. And you can see the comparison figures here from 600 something billion in 2023, it is like in 5 years' time, it is expected to be 900 billion. So yeah, there are a lot of different markets that we can also segment it into looking at. And I'll talk about it more in the later slides. And another trend that everyone should be paying attention is the food service, which in 5 years' time, we are expecting it to grow almost a double. And it is very unique that actually in the Asia Pacific region, we are very keen to have multiple shopping channels. So whenever you're exporting to Asia or China or the Southeast Asian, you may also want to get in touch with these channels, be it online or even supermarkets. They are launching e-commerce or delivery services. So this is very much similar to US, but they are like speeding that up because in the past usually people are shopping for groceries, and obviously after the pandemic everything changes in terms of the consumer behavior. And this is the market that we should look at when you're going to Asia and also going to Hong Kong. And we are very close to the ASEAN economies. And why we should pay attention is that there is a very strong up and rising middle class there. And by going to Hong Kong, you will be able to also meet with these regional buyers because Hong Kong is in the middle of Asia. And apart from the middle class, we are also seeing a very young population in the ASEAN countries. So their consciousnesses to health and the awareness to wellness is one trend that we should be paying attention to. And apart from the Southeast Asian economies, of course, when we're looking at Asia, we're looking at China, the Greater Bay Area is also a very strong highlight. And it is composed of 11 different cities, including Hong Kong, two special administrative regions of China, Macau, and Hong Kong, and also 9 other mainland Chinese cities. And we are looking at a very huge population, condensedly populated within the region. And we have been experiencing a very steady GDP growth. So whenever people are exporting to China or Hong Kong, this is a very strong economic engine that we also want to look into. So if you are joining the delegation to Hong Kong, and also the Food Expo Pro will be focusing on matching the buyers or the contacts from these regions to you. And these are also the 2 areas or the 2 biggest markets that the Hong Kong Trade Development Council has been working with. And we have also offices there. So we are very well connected on these markets. So to summarize the Asian market, what's driving the growth? First of all, it's the urbanization and the lifestyle. People are getting wealthier and wealthier, so they are trying to look into the convenience and also the health part. And with also the digital transformation era, we have also a lot more convenient options when we are coming to ordering food and enjoying F&B services. Of course, also the rising middle class and also the evolving consumer values. So in short, if you are looking to export to Asia, I think three main part: beauty, the wellness part, which is the health, nutrition, whether a product got a very catchy health ingredient, what stands out with wellness, and also the convenience, including the packaging and the marketing and the channels that you are looking into, and also the premiumization, because of course, there are a lot of products that are going for the price strategies, but from our experience, products from the US are oftentimes targeting the premium segment. And the good news is the Asia market is getting more and more wealthy, so they are also looking at premium products, and there's an increasing demand right now. And these are some of the products that we have been observing a strong growth. On the top left corner is the halal F&B. Halal is the basically we're targeting at the Muslim market, which some of the ASEAN, like the Southeast Asian economies, are having a halal economy. All the products that they consume must be halal certified. So that's why during our delegation or the food show, we are also having a lot of seminars and also connections that are also teaching international exporters of F&B to when they are targeting at the Southeast Asian market or even the Middle East market. The halal certificate is a must. And throughout the 5 years, we are expecting 50% growth in the halal food market. And apart from Muslims, actually, a lot of people are also starting a halal lifestyle, which is for safety and for ethnics. So this is something that you should bear in mind if you're looking at the Asia market. So apart from that, because of the convenience, the wellness, and also the westernized cuisines and also premiumization, we are seeing a strong growth in dairy, cheese, frozen food, and canned food market. And of course, lifestyle also comes with like a cup of coffee. Everyone in Asia is crazy getting coffee and matcha. I think same as US, and they are targeting this as some kind of a lifestyle market. So we can see also a very strong coffee consumption increase in Asia. So as time is very limited, and if you are in a particular sector that I haven't been mentioning, you want to understand more of the market trend, feel free to reach out to me or anyone here after the session. So we're coming back to why Hong Kong. Like we all know, the Asian market is very strong right now. There are a lot of growth opportunities, but why we should export to Hong Kong or pick Hong Kong as the stop. So first of all, the geographic location. Hong Kong is in the center of Asia. So you can see in the northern part it is mainland China, and in the southern part it's the Southeast Asia, with also Japan and Korea reachable within 5 hours of flight time. So half of the world's population is actually reachable within 5 hours from Hong Kong. So for this logistics network, it also actually helps with the keeping the freshness and also the cost low for all the food exporters. And another point that I want to emphasize is the zero friction imports. Is we understand that like there are a lot of restrictions going on right now between the international trade, but for Hong Kong we are keeping a zero import tariff policy. So it means that whenever international exporters export products to Hong Kong, we are not charging them any VAT, any tariff, or any sales tax. So we are trying to minimize the license and also the barriers for all the F&B companies. So if you are coming with us to the delegation exhibiting at our show, basically there's only very simple like health and safety forms that you have to fill out because you are perhaps distributing samples. So, and for trade, we have a very simple system for all of you to register. So we still have two sessions in May and June. So perhaps when you are interested to know more, we will be sharing that part in the later webinars. And also, we have a very concentrated buyer network, very strong consumer power. And also, we have among the world's top best bars and also the top restaurants. We have a very highly condensed population there. So we are really in need of the premium ingredients and products. And apart from that, of course, it's the perfect gateway into China because we are a separate customs territory. And also we are adhering the one country, two system concept. So that actually means exporting to Hong Kong and exporting to other cities in China has a different set of rules and regulations. And I would say export because of the historical background of Hong Kong, we are having a very strong base of professional services talents, which are able to better integrate with the Western code of business. And another trend that it's very interesting for Hong Kong is that, Hong Kong is a very small place, a very small city. We have 750 million people only. Of course, it's not exactly very small, but not exactly very big. But we are actually doing a lot of re-exporting. So around 80 to 85% of all the F&B imports every year into Hong Kong is actually re-exported to different destinations. And you can see the biggest share is, of course, mainland China, but we are also experiencing a strong growth in the ASEAN markets. So like Malaysia, Vietnam, Singapore, these are also the re-exporting destination because Hong Kong is like a logistic hub and also an entrepot for all these products products to go and to provide a safe environment and also a good legal system. We have professional services, financial services, accountants, lawyers handling contracts. So I think you can, after the webinar, feel free to reach out to me to learn more and see how the Hong Kong Trade Development Council can help. Yeah. So this is the part that I want to spotlight on the Asian market. And after talking all about these news, I have to give like a brief introduction of like what the Hong Kong Trade Development Council is. So we have 51 global offices in the world. 3 of them are in the US, and for me, Chicago, New York, and also LA. So I'm based in LA, and I am responsible for the trade promotion between West Coast and also Hong Kong. And our mission is to facilitate trade between Hong Kong, mainland China, and the rest of the world. So for us, we are more focused on bringing Hong Kong companies to the US and also bringing US companies to Hong Kong and to do business in Asia. So we organize over 40 events annually in Hong Kong with industry conferences and also trade shows. And for this time, I'm specifically introducing the Food Expo Pro that was just mentioned by Terri, August 13th to the 15th this year. And it is a 3-day trade exhibition with the last day opening to the public. So in the last day, if you're joining, feel free, you can sell or let the public to taste the samples and also to reach out to consumers and also to understand more what's going on with the Hong Kong or the Asian market. And for last year, we have over 600 exhibitors from 28 countries. And the number of buyers throughout the 3 days is 18,000. And one interesting part is that we will also facilitate business matching. So when you join our shows, we will also look into the profiles and also to promote and recommend buyers for your business. And these are some of the big names that have been visiting the show, but this is only a very like small extract of what's are the buyers coming. So traditionally, of course, the convenience stores, restaurants, supermarkets, online platforms, and also the lifestyle shop owners. But on top of that, we are also encouraging chefs and also entree buyers from the region to come to our show. So these are just some big names that we have, but we do have a lot more. And if you're interested in knowing more about the buyer profile, you can feel free to reach out to us afterwards. So they will be concentrating to coming on the first 2 days, and then we'll have some meetings scheduled for during the show. And apart from the buying and selling within the booth, of course, for a successful or a good trade exhibition, we also need to have some dialogues and events that are ongoing in the show. From exhibitor to buyer forum, we will invite exhibitors and buyers to exchange their thoughts of the Asian market, selling of their products, even product demo like cooking, meat cutting, these kind of events that are helping with the trade. And on top of that, we will also be having introduction, like information sessions for the market trend. Every year we'll investigate like what's new in the market, what are the highlights in the Asian market. So for like last year, we have a session on the exploring the frontiers of the halal market. So some of you may be familiar with that, some of you not. And you can attend these sessions to understand like how you should apply for a halal certificate, what are the do and don'ts for entering these markets. So I think it is very informative, and joining an exhibition is always not only about selling and buying, but also to be knowing more about the international market. And just one success story, a Sri Lanka exhibitor meeting. I'm not going deep into it, but you can see that from the exhibitors' testimonials, we are not only having buyers from Hong Kong, mainland China, or the region, but also like Middle East, even like European or the Americas countries, because we have 51 offices globally. So we are also inviting buyers from around the world to join our show. And last but not least, because we have the global network, we will conduct business matching via a click-to-match online platform, which if you are joining as an exhibitor, we'll be providing you training and how to use this click-to-match services. Basically, we merge AI with our online system, and also you will have a dedicated calendar or schedule, and also for you to reach out to the buyers, and all of the buyers will have an account. So it's like a LinkedIn. You can reach out to them. You can view their profile. If they accept your connection, you'll be able to get the contact information and also maybe schedule a meeting. So this is basically, I don't want to get overly long, but basically what the Food Expo Pro is about and what the Asian market is about. And yeah, so we will be working with Terri and also WUSATA and for bringing the delegation to Hong Kong, hopefully yeah, so I look forward to welcoming all of you to Hong Kong. And this is the beautiful skyline of Hong Kong, very nice Victoria Harbour. And the QR code will show the rest of the TDC events that are covering different industries. So this is the end of my presentation, and feel free to shoot me any questions afterwards or during the session. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Cedric. You shared a lot of great information, and I think you give people a lot to think about. I think the thing that stood out to me most is when you said no additional tariffs or and no VAT. So I think that's a really attractive thing about the Hong Kong market. I'm going to turn it over now to Hayden, and he's going to talk about USATA and the FundMatch program that they have been running really for years to help U.S. companies with exporting food products. But before I turn it over to Hayden, I just want to say we will have Q&A at the end of the program or when Hayden is done. So if you have a question, I'll take you off of mute because I see we do have at least one hand that has been up, and you'll be able to ask a question to the speaker. Okay? So thank you so much. Hayden, the floor is yours.
Wonderful. What a great setup. So let me talk a little bit about the Western United States Agricultural Trade Association, or commonly known as WUSATA. So let me give a little bit of context here, and let me make sure. All right. Got my screens working all right. So we are a nonprofit trade association. We are also recognized as a state regional trade group, or an SRTG as the acronyms, so laid out by the USDA, as we love our acronyms in the government line of work. So as a state regional trade group, there are 4 of us across the United States that covers each region of the United States, and depending on where your organization is headquartered, that is how we base it off of. That is which jurisdiction that you fall under. So what we do is we apply for the market access program every single year, and that is the MAP or MAP funding, as well as any other additional funding sources that come our way, such as the RAP program that was administered under the Biden administration. And we also have the AFTPP, the America First Trade Promotion Program, which will be hitting this summer as far as funding, but that's another funding source that we have applied for. So if you've seen newsletters or information that comes out of the USDA, these are grants and funding that we apply for, and then we redistribute to you, the company, through our reimbursement program. But we also utilize these funds to create activities and trade missions and trade promotions that WUSATA will put on through our departments of agriculture. And our departments of agriculture are everyone that you see listed on this as the section of the Western United States. You will also see Alaska and Hawaii is associated with our association, as well as the Northern Mariana Islands and the territory of Guam. We all work together in conjunction to put together a unified export strategy that we propose to FAS, the Foreign Ag Services. And that is how we put together our activities and our funding, and our project managers will facilitate and execute these activities that come along with WUSATA. So as far as the FundMatch program and getting a account set up, so it's kind of a 2-step process. You'll visit our website, wusata.org, and you'll create your company account if you do not have one already. And these are the 3 things that I look for when we are vetting our accounts. We're headquartered in the Western United States. We are a small to medium agribusiness per the SBA guidelines, and 50% of your products are at least U.S. grown, meaning made, farmed, fished, or forested anywhere here in the United States. We also have our learn, connect, and compete model that we really escalate through towards our programming, and it starts with export education and learning more about different markets. And Cedric did a really nice job discussing Hong Kong and the opportunities that align in Hong Kong. Currently, WUSATA does not have any activities in Hong Kong, so this turned into a great opportunity to partner with Global LA as they are participating in a Hong Kong activity. So what we do is there's a vast amount of resources between webinars with our contractors, USDA attaches, as well as the fairs and the gains reports that the USDA will send out. And those you can find on our website for free, just under the export education side of things. Building on the export and education, I just want to add a little bit of this. I've already talked about the market intelligence reports. We also have access to more resources from a WUSATA staff perspective. So if you are looking for certain HS codes and how they align in certain markets, please send me an inquiry, send me an email, send someone on our staff, and we'll get this taken care of. And we can provide you a little bit more detailed and more access to what that information is, as this is put together by the USDA's attaches across the world. Our Global Connect program, like I mentioned, we do not have any current activities in Hong Kong from a WUSATA perspective, and that's why we're partnering with Global LA to help them promote and get the word out about a Hong Kong activity, so a trade show. So other trade shows that WUSATA does throughout the globe, you can find here. These are really our key legacy trade shows as per se. We do a lot of food and beverage shows across the world. And this is an excellent opportunity to get out, meet people, meet buyers. One of the additional perks of this is we are in the USDA Pavilion, which is excellent because when FAS is there, which they're always there, they will always walk buyers and delegations through the USA Pavilion. And if you've ever been to a large international trade show like that, they are quite large. It is quite large to get everyone to walk through certain areas of a trade show. And typically, when you get a spot with us, you typically have a pretty good spot within the exhibit hall. Other activities, I'm actually currently in sunny Fresno, California today. I'm based in Vancouver, Washington, but I'm down here supporting our California Department of Food and Agriculture's colleagues, Josh Eddy and Lucas Farah. We are right in the middle of our Best of the West inbound mission, and that is where we visit 3 cities. We bring in buyer delegations from 4 different countries, and we do tabletop meetings. So that is what we're doing today. As well as we facilitate outbound trade missions. So this is taking companies from the US here, and we engage foreign buyers overseas. But now let's get to the FundMatch, because this is the side of things that I live on. This is what I live and breathe. I am, like I mentioned from the beginning, I'm the engagement manager. So I manage a small team that represents basically account managers, right? And I have our account managers that manage different accounts for different regions of the United States. So right now, my market is California, I guess, one way to say. I help account manage for our California companies and help with the process of this FundMatch program. So if you have questions on FundMatch, you come to me. So right now, the FundMatch program, first-time exporters can take advantage of up to $25,000 in reimbursements. So the FundMatch program is exactly what it says it is. It's matching funds up to 50% on international marketing activities that are eligible. And I'll get to a slide here where we will see what is all eligible through our programs. But first-time exporters can receive up to $25,000, meaning you're spending a total of $50,000 to get $25,000 back. In year 2 and so on, you can request up to $300,000 in reimbursement funding, meaning you're spending a total of $600,000 in funding. Additional eligibility on the FundMatch program, just the way we kind of laid things out, exactly the way they are. They think the only other caveat here is that you've been legally licensed and operating for at least 1 year. That's the other requirement, but the other one would be your products and your packaging requirements are showing that you are U.S., made, grown product of the United States, and that you have products that are here, right? We want to promote the United States. We want to promote your brands, but that's very clearly a very sticking point in our program as far as eligibility is concerned. I won't cover everything here, just for the sake of time, but this is kind of a quick layout of how this FundMatch application can work. So a FundMatch consultation can be a one-on-one meeting, whether that's a Zoom or a phone call with myself or the FundMatch manager. That's a great way, a great opportunity to get one-on-one with me, and we can discuss more in detail than I can go into on this overview presentation. But this way we can get into a little bit more details. So basically what you'll do is you'll submit your application, you'll put down the products that you are planning to exhibit with or promote. You'll have your marketing plan. So what markets, or in this case, countries, what countries are we looking to go to? And what types of activities are we doing? Are we advertising? Are we doing billboards or digital or social media advertising? Are we doing trade shows, trade missions? What travel is required there? So excellent opportunities there. From there, you want to make sure your application is approved before the event happens. So we've got a little bit of time here between now and then for this trade show. And then from there, we're free to move about the cabin and conduct those activities overseas. And then we do everything as far as claim submission and reimbursements on the back end once that activity is complete. So like I mentioned before, this is kind of that total list of international expenses. There is quite a bit of activities that companies can utilize for this, and some of these activities differ between subcategories and categories. But a lot of the big ones would be our outbound trade missions and international trade shows. That's my executive director, Jason Fernyhow at WUSATA, says it best. Business is best done in person. That's where you build relationships, and that is where you get that face time to build a rapport with companies. And that is why I always default to international trade shows and trade missions, because those are those in-persons. Your ROI is probably highest there. I mean, I don't have any data to back that, but I truly believe business in person is best. Here's that United States origin statement. So referring back to on the page of the eligibility requirements, what we look for when companies are exhibiting overseas is something on their booth or their booth build out or construction. You want to make sure that one, you're promoting your brand, and number two, you're promoting the United States in one of these shapes or forms. So you can have something that says product of, grown in, made in the United States, product of California, grown in Washington, anything alluding to the tie to the United States. One way I think about it is the federal government, the USDA is providing you funding to help promote your products. So in turn, you must help promote the United States. So it's really a win-win for everybody. But again, we can go into more details a little bit. Oh, I thought I had a little bit more, but we can go into a little bit more detail on a one-on-one. I personally would recommend a one-on-one with myself. So on this next slide here is my email. So please feel free to reach out to me. I take consultation fees. My fees are quite expensive. They're free. So make sure you take advantage of me. I talked to several of our California companies here in the Western United States, as well as other territories. But really, our engagement team is one of your best resources to be successful in our FundMatch program. There are nuances with federal funding, just like there are with anything else, associated with federal funding and grants and things of that nature. But that is where we are well equipped to help you walk through this process to make it much easier and to provide a little bit more of a white glove and customer service approach to helping you be successful. And I will leave it there unless I forgot anything, but I'm more than happy to sit on for a little bit longer for any questions that have come up.
All right. Thank you, Hayden. We appreciate all the valuable information you shared with us today. I hope that you guys have all learned not only about the Hong Kong market, but also about the amazing support that is available to U.S. companies that are in the food industry. So we're come to the point in the program where we have Q&A. And if you have a question, you can raise your hand and I will unmute your phone and you can ask a question. Or there is a Q&A in the chat, like in the chat area. If you'd rather type your question in, we will respond to those questions as well. So right now I'm seeing a question from Mark Taylor. So I'm going to unmute you, Mark, and then you can ask your question to the speakers. Okay, Mark, are you there?
There I am. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you fine.
Okay. So we produce organic sweetened condensed and evaporated milks and chocolate and caramel syrups. And I'm curious what you feel the opportunity is in organics on top of exports from the United States.
I think that's a question for you, Cedric. Did you want to respond to that?
Yeah, I think correct me if I'm wrong. Like I understand maybe like your products will be mainly used in cafes and restaurants, and then in Hong Kong and also Asia, I think dining out is a like a very strong culture, especially like for socialing. And then I think the connectivity of Asian cities, Hong Kong or mainland Chinese or even the Southeast Asian, like the convenience of people going out for dinner or restaurants experience is really encouraging them to do that. So that I think that part, when you go to Hong Kong, I think it is very important that you can get to know more restaurants and also cafes that will be interested in using your products. And so this is the part of your product. But when you're speaking of organic, I don't have the exact figures right now, but there from like my experience with Hong Kong supermarkets or Hong Kong retailers, whenever they are using like organic or vegan or even like if there are some sort of like natural product certificate that they are using, they restaurants and cafes are tending to purchase products from these areas because they think there will be also a gimmick for them to advertise. And for Hong Kong consumers, we are also seeing an increasing awareness towards organic products. For example, we organized another wine show in November, and we have been receiving a lot of buyer inquiries on organic wine. So those are the wineries that are using organic approach of growing grapes. So I think from this trend, I can also deduce from that trend that organic products are indeed with receiving more and more attention. So if you are really going to a trade show, no matter it's our Food Expo Pro or other trade shows in Asia, to let people know that you are selling organic products, you can put up a stand like in your counter and saying that you're doing organic products. This will definitely help attract eyeballs from the trade buyers. And for our shows, we will also put up like labels and logos. But like for halal, if you have a halal certificate, we'll give you a label. But organic, we just do it in the wine show for now. But I'll also talk to the headquarters to see if we will do it in the upcoming food show. But this is a very good point, and I think doing things organic is more of a Western trend right now, but definitely in the Eastern countries, we are receiving more and more attention.
Thank you.
Great.
Yeah.
So, did you have another question, Mark?
No, I mean it's there's a small slice of the population that can afford or is looking for organic, and it's just a question of finding those people at a trade show because they have to be looking at you and you're looking at them unless they come prepared to find us. So I don't know. It's just one of those things that I'm part of this group called the Organic Trade Association, and we travel around the world. I was supposed to be in Singapore today, actually, but I contracted COVID, so I'm stuck here at home. But anyway, it's I'm always looking for opportunities to expand our base because we're the only producers of organic products of those products in the world. So it's just something that I'm trying to develop. So
Well, one thing I would say, Mark, if you we can have a follow-up call after this, but I think it might be worth tapping into some of the resources since you've done business around the world already, but I'm sure that's something like the Foreign Agricultural Service could help with identifying and also maybe even helping with setting up meetings with targeted organizations or companies that are looking for your type of product, we could work through the U.S. Commercial Service as well. So maybe we can have a follow-up after this and see exactly how we can best support you and what you're trying to do.
Do you have my contact information?
I will. I have all the registrants as long as you registered.
I did. Yeah,
Okay.
right.
Yeah. I'll follow up with you afterwards.
Okay,
Um,
thank you.
I don't know if there are any other questions or that anyone has. And if not, we have a small group today, but we recorded this session because we knew that as we continue to promote the Hong Kong Food Show, folks will have questions. And so I plan to send this recording as we go along so that more people will know about this opportunity and also will be able to take advantage of of WUSATA, which is a wonderful, wonderful program. I've talked to so many companies over the years, and they were exporting and had no clue about WUSATA. So I like to every chance I get to promote them and to talk about the work that that they do to support U.S. companies. I'd like to do that. So at this time, we are at the end of our program for today, and I just want to just briefly put a plug in. We have two more sessions that are coming up. The next session is going to be on federal resources to support U.S. companies exporting food products to Asia and beyond. So we'll have a guest speaker from the Small Business Administration. We'll have a guest speaker from Exim Bank, and we're hoping we'll get someone from the Foreign Ag Service. Obviously, the time that we are holding these webinars is the middle of the night in Hong Kong, so we might not be able to get someone on live, but they might be able to provide a recording. We're hoping. So that will be our next session, and it'll be May the 20th. If you register for this session, you'll also get the login for the next session, so you don't have to re-register. But I do encourage you to join us and to get more information. These are all tools that you can use when selling to Asia, and whether you participate in the Hong Kong Food Show or not. But we really want you to participate in the Hong Kong show. I think it'll be a wonderful opportunity. And then the last session will be June 17th, same time, 11 a.m. And it'll be focusing on regulations and logistical guidance. So once you get your new customer overseas, how are you going to get your product to them? And what are the regulations and things that you need to know when selling to Hong Kong, but also throughout the region. So we're looking forward to bringing you all of this great information, and also looking forward to you hopefully participating with us in the show. If you're interested in the show, you can reach out to info@global.la. I do respond to emails. So if you have any questions about pricing or just general information about exhibiting, I'm happy to have a follow-up call with you, and then we can go through that in detail. All right. Well, thank you so much. Thank you to our speakers. Thank you, Cedric. Thank you, Hayden. Hayden is super busy, so appreciate you taking time out from the program that you're running right now to be with us on this call. And thank you to everyone who joined us today. We hope you found this valuable and that you learned some new stuff about Hong Kong and also about the Western U.S. Agricultural Trade Association. All right. Thank you so much. Everyone have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye.
It wasn't everywhere. It wasn't heard at all.